And for a deeper insight on the market, we are joined by money man Scott Phillips, Chief Investment Officer from Motley. Scott, good evening to you. Despite some profits from BHP, today's market didn't end on a high note.
Lizzie, good evening. That's absolutely the tale of the tape today. BHP's results were very good, largely on the back of commodity price gains and a really well-run type ship. Unfortunately, as you said, not quite enough with a dodgy lead from Wall Street, a falling oil price and general concerns about the potential geopolitical risks out of the Ukraine. It was a tough day for the ASX.
And talk us through the oil market, not looking good either.
No, it's not. Well, it depends on which way we look at it, I suppose. If you're a motorist, you're pretty happy when the oil price falls. If you're an oil company shareholder, not so excited. We saw some big double-digit falls on some of the oil and gas majors in Australia on the back of that falling oil price. Those ructions I mentioned in Ukraine, of course, you've been covering them from a news perspective. Financially, the market's not sure what to make of it. If we do have sanctions or we have Russia shut off the pipeline to Europe, that will push the price of oil way higher, and that's what the market's worried about. On the flip side, when things start to look better, we see the oil price fall back again. The only thing we can guarantee, I think, over the next couple of weeks is more volatility.
And Scott, let's talk about interest rates. They are looking to rise sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and look, not a huge surprise here, but interesting to see the Reserve Bank in their minutes release today pretty much acknowledge that the inflation movements have been faster than expected and also more broad than they expect. In other words, on more products. That combination is not a good one for interest rates. It probably is important and relevant that interest rates go up sooner rather than later, as you say, because we want to make sure inflation doesn't get out of control. Not good news for mortgage payers, but it'd be worse if they did it and we had inflation as well. So in this case, it is a scenario where the early bird really does catch the worm.
And Scott, before we let you go, what are the US futures pointing to?
It's been a bit choppy in early trade. We've had some negatives and some positives on the futures. Right now, look like a very, very small gain. I have a feeling, though, headlines might yet drive the market overnight, so I'll have to see what happens on our market tomorrow.
Scott Phillips from Motley, always great to get your insight. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Lizzie.